Hey there everyone, it is Maria Young here, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my orchid and also my plant adventures. And I gotta tell you folks, today we are on quite an exciting mission and also adventure here in my garden, where we have two humunga dunga wunga Monstera Thai constellations that are going to be repotted today. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at these Monstera Thai constellations so that we can see exactly what we're dealing with. And did I mention to you guys how huge these leaves are? I mean, take a look-see. They are so dang huge. Shall I do a head test? Well, there you go guys, and I have to admit to you guys today, I don't know what to expect. I have never seen beneath the surface of the pots, so you know what? We may have to make some things up as we go, but you guys know if there's a will, there's a way, and we definitely are on a mission and we'll get it done. And to really get to the meat of the matter of why exactly we have to do a repot and do one as soon as possible, as we take a look in this area, you are seeing a good amount of space, but if we take a look at the very edge, you are seeing that it is growing into the pot and soon will be growing over the pot. And we also have the same exact scenario with the other Monstera Thai constellation as well. As you can see, it is beginning to grow towards the edge of the pot, so we want to go ahead and center it just a little bit more so it'll have more room to grow. Aw, and take a look-see guys. Look at this brand new baby leaf right here that has began to unfurl. And don't we want to provide this a happy, healthy home? Well, of course we do, right guys? And here we go. We're just gonna go ahead and take the bull by the horn here and get this big baby out. I'm not quite sure exactly how this is gonna turn out, guys, but again, we'll get it done. And I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of mash it down so it'll be easier to take outside of the pot. And it seems to be really coming out pretty easy, guys. Oh, this is so heavy. There you go. Look at that. This is it, guys. These are the roots. Look at that. And it was pretty easy to get out, so thank goodness. And now what we're gonna do is just work out some of the soil in here, see exactly what it's looking like, and I'll give you guys a closer view. Come on in. If we take a closer look at the actual root system right here, we are going to notice that it is a bit lopsided. In this area right here, you're noticing not that much root, but as we go to this section right here, this is where the plant was growing up against that pot, you are seeing majority of those healthy roots right there. And because the roots were so lopsided, this is actually going to give us a whole lot of space to work with. This is going to be the bulk of the root again, and then here hardly anything. So when we do clear out the soil, we're going to have good space to even keep it within the same pot. Also, what I noticed, guys, is take a look at that stem area. I mean, it starts right here, and look at there. A good amount of stem. We could actually cut it about right here and make a top cutting, and then hope that perhaps we can even start a new plant at the base cutting. What do you guys think? Yep guys, and that's exactly what I decided to do. So here's my knife that has been sanitized with Phizan. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look where I want to cut it. There is a good root right there. I don't want to cut into that root, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bear down. There you go, and it's been cut right there. Removing the actual soil from the roots. So we're just shaking it up a little bit, getting this untangled here. And again, we made a cutting, so we'll have two sections. These are the two portions. This is going to go into that big pot, and this will go into a smaller pot. So it was a success, and we hope that we'll get a new plant off of this one. Because we did make a cut wound to this plant, we want to make sure that this heals and dries out and avoids rotting this portion out. So we're just using some cinnamon powder, as you see, and I'm just making sure that we spread it on that wound. And we'll do that to the other cutting as well. And here we are, guys. This is the soil media of choice right here. Of course, you can use whatever type of soil media that works best for you. In my case, I am using a soil-based media in combination with bark, also perlite and some cactus soil in here as well, so that this media will be well aerated and also fast draining. And all there is left to do is fill up the pot. I'm going to fill it up more than halfway, and then I'm going to pack it down, and then we'll put the plant in there and we'll add whatever needed soil to hold it in place. And then afterwards we will also stake it up so that it'll be sturdy in the pot. And that looks just about right. And as I stated, we're just going to go ahead and pack it down. Make sure that the soil is secure and in place so that we can go ahead and place our Monstera wherever we see fit, which we're going to get in all of these roots. We're going to go ahead and prop it up the way that we want it to be potted in the pot. And I'm just going to go ahead and backfill this with the soil. And then afterwards, we're going to use the stake to stake this in place. And now that we have the soil in here at the level we want it to be, I'm just packing it down really, really well to hold the plant in place and keep it secure. And then again, for added protection, we're going to go ahead and add the stakes as well, just to keep it in place. And this is where I will hold it at. Press the stake in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the twisty tie. And we're going to twisty tie this securely in place, and that's going to really prevent this from toppling over. So all there is left to do is to add the slow release fertilizer, of which I will be using, and then also watering the plants. And then we're done and complete, and we can move on to our second tie constellation. So let's go ahead and add the slow release fertilizer to both of these, and then let's go ahead and water them. And what we're doing is we're making sure that this is completely watered. So we're filling this up, we're allowing the water to soak in. I'm gonna let it drain all the way through, and then I'm gonna water maybe about 2 to 3 more times, just to make sure that this is fully saturated with water. Okay guys, and here we are yet again. This is round 2 of the repotting, and this is actually the second tie constellation. We're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out the pot. We're gonna inspect it. I'm gonna show you exactly what's going on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and repot this off camera. And then once we are all done and complete, I'm gonna show you the final product of our tie constellations repot. And here we go, guys. And again, I'm doing the exact same thing. The media was actually looser in this one, so this should be a whole lot easier to take out. Oh man, maybe not. It's still pretty heavy in here. Okay, there we go. There we go. And look guys, not that much root at all on this one, surprisingly. So yeah, this is going to be easy to repot. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at exactly what we're dealing with. As we're seeing, there is a good and decent amount of roots, nowhere near the first one though, but still good enough root system right here. But what I am taking most notice of, guys, is take a look at this lovely stem area right here. We can definitely make a cutting on this one, and as a matter of fact, I think we can make about 2 or even 3 on this one, just to try to ensure that we can get a new plant from it. What do you guys think? Yes, indeed. How could I pass up on a grand propagation opportunity such as this right here? We're going to do exactly that. I'm going to cut right here, trying to keep these roots that we have over there. You know, the better root system that we have, the more of a chance it is for the plant to survive. And I'm actually not trying to cut that leaf off either, so I'm going to actually have to cut at a certain angle to try to keep with this cutting. And there you go, guys. And we can actually make a couple of propagation pieces off of this right here. And we're gonna go ahead and cut this further down to size. We are gonna go ahead and cut it right here. Ta-da! And we're also going to make another cutting right here. And we might just be trying our luck, but how will we know if we don't try, guys? And there you go. So now we're gonna apply the cinnamon so that we can dry this out, and then we'll repot them. And here we are, guys, applying that cinnamon. As you can see, turn this over, also apply the cinnamon on here. We're putting a good ample amount, and we're gonna go ahead and let this dry out, let it work its magic there. And then here is this other cut right here. We're also doing the same thing right there. And we're just gonna go ahead and make sure it is thoroughly on the cut wound. And this one right here is the initial plant cutting. And we definitely wanna make sure this is completely dry. And so now we're just gonna leave this alone, let it dry out for a couple of hours, and then we'll go ahead and repot. Now for the Monstera cuttings, I did treat a little bit differently. I did allow them to dry a couple of hours, and then I went ahead and put rocks and gravel at the bottom of the actual pots to allow good drainage. We definitely want this to be capable of drying out pretty well. We don't want any type of rotting. And I'm not gonna water these ones, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and allow it to sit within the pots. The soil is a little bit moist anyways. I think that is sufficient. And as you can see, the Monstera cutting right here, the rhizome itself is not too far down or deep into the soil. It is closer to the top. And again, that'll allow better dry time. And also when it does grow in, it's gonna be easier and quicker to grow to the surface. And that's basically all we're going to do with this guy here. You're actually going to see a little bit of the surface of the rhizome right there. So these right here are the two initial repot and also propagation right here. And as you can see, these are still pretty large size plants. This one right here in particular. Take a look at my hand. And also the size of that leaf. It is huge, guys. And with these ones right here, I feel pretty much very confident. I'm gonna water these as normal as they become dry, and I think they're gonna be a-okay. And these ones right here were the second propagation and also repot that we did. And as you can see, these ones are far more attractive than the first one that I showed you, with all of these nice speckled variegations in here. Just very, very beautiful on this one. And we did the most cuttings off of this one as well. So I'm a little bit worried, to be honest with you, because each one of these actually have a cut on the plant itself. I am treating these a little bit more differently than the first one as well. I actually will not be watering these for today and also tomorrow. The soil was a little bit moist. That's how it comes from the store. So I figured it is going to provide it some form of moisture, but I definitely don't want to have this drenched out at all. Again, I'm just not so confident with these. And this particular one right here, this is the one that we actually did a cutting, but we were able to save one of the leaves, and this is just a pleasant reminder of the beauty of this Thai Monstera constellation. This is definitely a beautiful plant. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hoping that they all survive, but of course, if I had to choose, this is definitely the one that I would go with. This is the main plant right here, the most gorgeous variegations as you see, and of course, I truly cannot bear to have this one die out on me. Now, these other ones, you know, I can make do, but not this one, guys. So keep your fingers crossed and let's hope they all survive. And before we do head out, let's go ahead and take a look-see at where my Thai constellations are now. And as you see right here, it's a little bit less congested now. And because we did do a propagation, we can also see the Monstera Thai constellations throughout my garden. As you can see within this section of an island right here. And now you're also seeing the Monstera tie constellations here as well. And right here I do have some propagations, and do you guys recognize these propagated cuttings right here? These are actually the Monstera tie constellations, the ones that we did without any leaves at all. And alongside of it right here are some more cuttings. Do you guys recognize what type of cuttings these are? Well, let's take a closer look. Do you guys recognize it now? These are the pink princesses right here, and they were stem cuttings as well with absolutely no leaves. So as you can see, they are alive and doing well and sprouting out so many growths. And I'm also hoping within time that we're also going to see some growths off of these ones here. Fingers crossed with me, guys. Hey guys, I actually found even more stem cuttings. And if we take a look at this one right here, I don't know if you guys can recognize that, but that is a Hystatum, also known as the Silver Sword. And taking a look-see over here, this one is a Variegated beauty. Can you recognize this one, guys? This is the Bueno. These were all propagated via stem cuttings, absolutely no leaves at all. So you guys are more than capable. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you guys on my next adventure. Bye-bye for now.